Hello, and in today's rather exciting adventures on the e-bike, not an e-bike at all, because I fear the distance will be too great, so I'm going to have to just use leg power instead. I've decided to ride the length of the Rochdale Canal, starting in the Yorkshire end of Sowerby Bridge and going as far as I can. 20 miles for the electric bike, but it's mostly flat anyway, so it's not exactly a challenge. It's just more of a sightseeing event. Bloody flying things. Welcome to the beautiful destination of Hebden Bridge. One of my favourite ever places. I'm going to ride from here. That's not funny. This ride is going to be basically 4 places that actually mean something to me. Hebden Bridge, because it's just the most wonderful, like it's come out of a book, like a storybook. It's so magical and full of bohemian types, and then Todmorden, which is kind of the same but maybe not quite as popular or expensive. Then Littleborough, which is where I live, which is still a nice place, although there's fears it's going to be not like that forever. And then to Rochdale, where I grew up. And the canal will take me all the way from here, all the way there. It runs parallel with the river, more or less, and the railway, which also takes you to Manchester. Not going to go that far. I've actually made some sandwiches for this little stop. I've already ridden about 10 miles or something like that to get from Littleborough to here. It's kind of easier on the way back, because although it's flat, it's lumpy as well, because that's why we have these locks, so that canals can go up hills. Squashed up Marmite sandwiches, Marmite and cucumber and cheese. The towpath is a wonderful place to ride, a lot nicer than the road. It's safer. You're not going to get run over for a start. You just got to be careful of pedestrians, and the most dangerous thing really is the geese. I'd love a night out here. There's the Vocation pub over there, and I love Vocation beer, and a certain multicoloured little rover just fits in. A sunny day in Hebden Bridge is always going to have loads and loads of people outside the pub. And the problem with her is it makes me want beer. And that kind of beer there, the Vocation, life and death. What an absolutely fantastic beer that is. Before I set off riding, behind me is the park where the Hebden Bridge Classic Car Show is held. That'll probably be happening soon, and I'm bound to come along to it. Hebden Bridge Little Theatre. It certainly is little. Whatever lock this one is, it doesn't actually say. It is rather magnificent. The canal goes over the river. Isn't that amazing? No parking. Well, how do you even get a car down here? Coffee lounge. It's like being at an expensive seaside. Kind of on our way out of Hebden Bridge already, but these barges aren't going to stop. They're going to carry on going all the way, I reckon. Whilst the weather's like this, it seems like such an idyllic place to live in a barge. Can't see it being that good in the winter though. Hopefully these little areas at the side as well, which I don't know whether it's land that's been bought or just land that's been claimed because nobody else is using it. Stubbing lower lock number 10. I was going to go to Sowerby Bridge, but decided that I'd have too much footage. Everywhere you look, there's stuff at the side, lovely big houses and things built in the garden. There's a big tree house up there. Communal garden tools, where I guess everybody works together to keep the place looking nice. It definitely does. Oh, and look up there. A lovely canal side pub. More temptation. Absolutely loads of these. All these interesting people live in there. alternative lifestyles. Sounds a bit like a cop-out, that, saying alternative lifestyle, but it kind of is, isn't it? Because it's choosing to live on a canal rather than in a house. I always think canal boats in Hebden Bridge, camper vans or converted camper vans, or just vans in murder paint in Todmorden. And there's something unbelievably wonderful and free about it, of course. It's just that I honestly reckon that anyone that does it probably wishes they just lived in a normal house half of the time. This is going to take me ages to get back to Littleborough. It's so lovely. Normally I just see some rather wonderful countryside from the car, and that's enough to make me want to just stop, but I kind of almost think this spoils it by doing it on the bike. You want to walk. You want to walk along this and see everything. Everyone's friendly as well. Everyone says hello. I mean, that might be because you're out sort of away from people and you want to make sure you're not going to get murdered or something. Or it could be just you get more civilized kind of people walking along a canal. What's this thing? Looks like a cross between rhubarb and a cauliflower. Another amazing place where the canal runs parallel to the river. So the canal's been built up. When was the canal made? I think it was 1801. I think that's when it was opened anyway. Oh, cute little caravan. Probably about halfway to Todmorden now. And this is, oh, well, there's the waterworks there. That's not very interesting. I won't bother filming that bit. And that's the first bit of litter I've seen so far. There's a lot of pride taken in this place. We're used to seeing sheep knocking about, but not normally just one by itself like that up in an embankment. What a lovely little house that is. And when I say little, I mean actually quite big. You just can't stop taking pictures of the place. That barge reminds me of a 60s American car. Now, isn't this lovely? A little library of free books. Books for you just to take and read. Kindness. I think that's the whole philosophy of Hebden Bridge and Todmorden, this kind of free-spirited, giving attitude that just makes it so appealing. I mean, you wouldn't get that in London. I've got to say I'm a bit itchy. It's covered in green fly everywhere. It's hot with a helmet on. I did have glasses on to stop insects from going in my eyes, but I prefer insects going in my eyes than not being able to see where I'm going. But I'm going to get a few more for sure. Look at this lovely little area. Kindness again. More books. Lovely picnic area. It's a bit kind of weird as well, but weird in a good way. A good way, that same good way that you tell children ghost stories. That's making good use of old factories rather than knocking them down. Look at that. Isn't that magnificent? What a wonderful tree house. What a rather wonderful lawn as well, and I'm sure a spectacular house. That looks like it might be tree house number 2. That really would be special. Look at this, it's like the services for the canal, like the narrow boat services. And I guess it is really, because there's a crane over there. This must be where, if you want your boat dropped off in the canal, it gets brought on by a truck there and bunged in by that red crane. It is, it's big monkeys. Right, now we are in Todmorden. What a fabulous place. What a fabulous pub that looks like. Oh, and why have they got the toilets down there? Maybe that's not part of it. It's nice to see some toilets though. Everywhere you look, you see people who look friendly, look interesting, look intelligent. Well, except for those over there. But you know, it's 90% of the time, it's nice people. I almost got up it. I absolutely love churches. They're just magnificent pieces of work. I also like incredibly big walls. That's a very big wall indeed. I wonder why it's there. And now we arrive at one of my absolute favourite bits. This bridge. I don't know what it's called. I just know it's a railway bridge in Todmorden. Look at that, the detail in there, the detail. It looks like it was an old castle converted into a railway bridge. I almost forgot. Aliens in Todmorden. Canal side is obviously quite a prime location. Any waterside always is. And it's where you really notice that some people have more than their fair share of the money. Goodness, look at that. That really is enough to strike horror into anyone small enough to be told they have to go to church. Just behind me, on the other side of the river, is Gordon Riggs Garden Centre, probably the world famous garden centre here in Walsden. That really is a sorry sight. It's not like you can ring up the AA or RAC and say, could you pull me back up, please? Isn't that magnificent? It's not ostentatious, it's just really nice, with the grass kept neat. I figure that the canal boat's actually owned by whoever it is that owns the property there. I'm almost back to Littleborough. I'm absolutely knackered. Maybe it's because it's so hot. Maybe it's because I'm out of shape. Maybe I've just got a little bit too used to that electric bike. Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner. No. Just here is where the alpaca farm is, or alpaca sanctuary. Alpaca sanctuary. There's only a few of them knocking about. Normally there's loads of them all bobbing about, having a look, saying hello. They're rather curious and friendly creatures. This is the remains of what once was the Fothergill factory, which was burnt down in 2015. It was quite a fire. It had been derelict for many years, but things like that don't catch fire by themselves, do they? Someone set fire to it. And now it's nothing, taking up a whole load of space. It is lovely when you see proper old factories still in use, like this one here. I don't know what they do here. Well, my guess is heavy goods. Greenvale Mill, erected 1940. Looks a lot older than that. I'm sure when I rode along here 3 hours ago it was still full of water. It's not now, is it all gone? How did that happen so quickly? Somebody's drained all the water away. So, for anyone who doesn't know, the purpose of the locks is to lock in some water. If you're only coming down this way, you open this up and the water comes in and fills up this, and then you close it again, and then you open this one up and you go back out again, and you go out the other side, meaning that you can have the canal going uphill, and that's necessary because it's nowhere's flat around here. It's not Norfolk, you know. Right, at 7 o'clock I'm back where I started in Littleborough. That there is the last barge. There are no more barges from here all the way to Rochdale, and that's about another 3 miles off. Now my plan was to carry on going all the way to Rochdale, but the trouble is it's taken me an hour to get to Hebden Bridge and then nearly 2 hours to get back. Or is it 3? Yeah, it's 3. 3 hours to get back. What's going on? How's it taking me 3? Oh, well, obviously, because I keep stopping, taking pictures, talking, all this kind of thing, having something to eat. Although you can carry on all the way to Rochdale along this canal, all the interesting stuff you've already seen. From here on, it's just kind of a canal. There's nothing really. There's Clegg Hall. That's nice, but that's it. There's a bit of an embankment where I once saw a burnt out Triumph 2000 when I was about 10 years old, but that's it, and that car's not there anymore. And my original idea was to take you all the way down to Rochdale, and then you can see the difference between Todmorden and Littleborough, and what's that other one? Hebden Bridge, that's it, where there's nothing interesting any longer. Not only is there nothing interesting going on, but all the nice things get replaced by litter, shopping trolleys in the canal, and scroats knocking about, just drinking and stuff. And it's people are drinking up there, but they're not scroats. They're not like being vagrant. Honestly, I kind of think, as well as me being just a bit too tired now to carry on, and I should be home by now, that's the other reason that it might just spoil the video. I feel like I've captured lots and lots of really nice things that can make me and anyone else around here feel proud of their area, and turn it into something where you think, no, hang on, perhaps I don't like this country after all. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber. And thank you for liking.